Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have any other significant Libra placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Libra, it took me a couple of days to get to your reading, and I feel like that's relevant today because today it finally came through what the message was. I keep hearing don't lose the plot over and over again. Don't lose the plot. Don't forget why it is you're doing what it is that you're doing. I feel like maybe there's a scenario or a situation where it's like it kind of feels like there's like multiple different energies that are pulling on you. Like it could be like different projects or like different things that you're focused on or whatever it is, and it's kind of like you're having to like do a little for each thing that you're working on. But now I'm kind of seeing like a braid, right? Like it's kind of like, but like a braid with like more than 3 strands. It feels kind of look like that. Like it's like you're weaving in different strands from different aspects into like the main, like I don't know, it could be like a timeline or something like that, or like a path that you're on, or the plot, for lack of a better word. Like you're weaving in different, like almost like storylines into the main plot. That's how it's feeling. But remember not to lose the main plot. That's the whole point of your reading today. I feel like there may be energies that are coming through as a bit of like distraction doesn't feel like the right word, but it feels kind of like many different projects or many different energies, whatever that is. Or if it's like relationships, for example, like many different relationships, or however this relates to you. Or it could be like a mix of things, like your work life, your love life, your family life, like all of those sort of like strands or threads are being woven together is how it's coming through. I'm also getting like a very strong like golden thread energy for you, like golden thread, don't lose the plot. Another message that was coming through with the don't lose the plot was sort of like maybe there's been like in storytelling, right? Like we have plot, of course, characters, theme, setting, all of that. And so maybe there's been like a time in your life where maybe you've been too focused on character, for example, right? Like maybe too focused on relationships or like self-development kind of thing, like your own character or building your own character or like that kind of thing. Like maybe you've been too focused on that kind of energy, like self-focused or like self-help kind of focus, like that kind of energy, or you've been too focused on like theme or whatever. And I feel like maybe there's something here happening for you. It actually also feels kind of like a bit of a judgment energy, or like it could be a tower energy, but it doesn't feel quite intense like that. It feels more like a reminder or a wake-up call, or kind of like an alarm going off, like Libra, don't lose the plot, right? Like don't forget about the plot. And in this case, that's relating to like perhaps things like maybe there are things that you need to get done, or maybe there's like some sort of movement that you have to make or something like that, or there's like maybe like an opportunity or something that moves forward is how it's coming through. I feel like though, if you are in this place, because I am getting a bit of a 2 swords energy for you, Libra, like having 2 swords crossed, and it's almost feeling like the 2 swords are things that are like the 2 ideals that are clashing might have to do with like character versus plot, where it's like I hope this is making sense, where it's like I feel like maybe there's a bit of shadow energy coming through with the character aspect, or like I need an example. So shadow aspects of Libra could be something like people pleasing, for example, right? Like that's a shadow aspect of Libra. And maybe there's something here where it's like, maybe you're working on people, like maybe there's something about character, like shadow energies. Like maybe there's something here where it's like you're trying to please somebody, or like trying to do something that would make somebody else happy, or like that kind of thing. But in doing that, you're losing the plot, if that makes sense. So there is something here where I feel like you have to do something to advance the plot, but that act or movement of doing the thing that would advance the plot is going to result in somebody disliking you. That's how it's coming through, as an example, right? Like that's how it feels like. And so there may be a clash there where it's like you want, like, in order to move the plot forward, you would have to do something that somebody dislikes. And it's kind of like, don't forget about the plot, because I feel like maybe there's been something, and it could be something where it's like maybe you've been sacrificing something that you want, or like whatever it is, in order to make somebody else happy, or in order to like not, if it's not like to make somebody else happy, because like that's a cycle, that's a negative pattern. I feel like it's more like you don't want to make a situation worse, is how it's coming through. Okay. So there may be something like that. Like maybe there is a situation already where it's like you don't want to make something worse, or there may be like some sort of like, but it's kind of like, are you losing the plot by doing that, right? Are you forgetting? Because I feel like there's something here of like the universe, your guides, whatever word you want to put there, is trying to remind you, Libra, of like why this is important, or like why you were put in a certain situation in the first place. And I feel like part of the conflict might be that there's somebody who, or if it's not a particular person, there's a situation that feels like it might like get worse, or like if it is a conflict with someone, it's kind of like that your action or your movement towards this would actually result in them like disliking you more, is how it's going through, or something like that. Libra, only take that if it resonates. That's just an example. I can't think of any other ones that would explain this. You may want to watch the last Virgo reading. I'll link it above, which has something to do with like codependency. So you may be healing something like that. I feel like the codependent aspect in this scenario may have something to do with like people pleasing, like somebody like wanting either like your approval or your attention, or I don't know, it's something like that. That feels codependent because it's kind of like it doesn't help anybody. It's just how it's coming through. Anyways, okay. I'm going to pull cards for you, Libra. I was getting a Venus energy before we started. And Jupiter is also coming through. Jupiter's in Cancer right now, which is a square to you. Yeah, the Great Serpent. This is a card about transformation. You have Autumn at the bottom of the deck, which of course is Libra energy. The hungry snake bends itself around you in a gesture of protection and guardianship, giving you the space and safety to participate in the work. Anything and everything can be offered into its mouth for transformation. Good, bad, blasphemous, or precious, the materials of our life transmutate into gems along the great serpent spine. Along with your woes, the Ouroboros engulfs every pair of opposites. What is masculine becomes feminine. What is sky becomes earth. What is past becomes future. When this card appears, you have entered the quantum realm. Everything is a possibility. No one knows the limits of the Ouroboros. Just when you fell into thinking that your life was straightening out, the snake takes you again into its gaping mouth for an entirely new trajectory. Irises are coming through. Could be the flower, or could be like your eye, the iris, which is interesting. The iris encircles the pupil. So, but that's coming through as like a play on words as well. Like, because I'm seeing this great serpent as the iris of an eye, and you are the pupil. So maybe you're learning something, Libra, or like there's a process of learning. Maybe you're transmuting some things. I feel like you're also gaining some gems along the way. I think that there's some sort of transmutation process, like you're transforming something into another, or perhaps you're learning how to do that. I feel like there is something here where I feel like, Libra, maybe you were getting bogged down by some sort of process is how it's feeling. Like I feel like there's something here where it's like because now I'm seeing the pupil sort of wide, like dilating and contracting in order to let light in, right? Like if there's not a lot of light, the pupil dilates so that it can let more light in. If there's too much light, it contracts to limit the amount of light that comes in. There's something about that. The autumn card is also talking about harvesting. I feel like I feel like you're in some sort of process here where you're harvesting. It does feel like a harvest energy, like you're collecting the gems from some sort of process that I feel like, I don't want to say is ending, but both of these cards are kind of coming through like that. And you have summer. You have summer underneath that, like summer to autumn, right? Like a transition between summer to autumn. Maybe that's a significant timing aspect for you, but it's almost like, just in terms of the colors of these cards, like something is being flipped into the opposite is how it's coming through. I do think you are harvesting something. The gems of something. Perhaps like a situation that has been challenging to you. I feel like you're gaining the wisdom from it, or I don't know, is there some I feel like there's something about green eyes that's significant. Like maybe you know someone with green eyes, because that one's just like sticking out to me. And because we were talking about irises, like somebody with green eyes, it doesn't have to be though, or the color green, which is also the heart chakra, of course. That might be significant to you in some way. I feel like there's something about like people having their eyes on you is how it's coming through. Like like not in a bad way or in a creepy way. It's just like, I do feel like there's this energy of like you're the apple of someone's eyes, how it's coming through. Like somebody like really cherishes you is how it's coming through, or something like that. Okay. We're not going to do tarot right now. We're going to go to tea leaves. Okay, Libra. Energy for Libra. Nest. An emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. Yeah, there's this energy of like you have protection around you. That's so interesting. Maybe you're creating a nest in some way, Libra. Like there's this energy of like I feel like it's something where it's like, you know how animals just have a natural instinct for things like this, right? Like no one necessarily teaches them how to do the things that they do. Like that's how it's coming through for you, Libra. Like maybe there's something sort of innate happening in your experience in whatever way this is, where it's like maybe you're preparing for something, but maybe you don't quite know what it is yet, at least not on a conscious level. There's this like sort of feeling of like getting things ready, or like making things secure, or something like that. It's like, but I feel like you're learning this with the Great Serpent energy, because I keep getting this energy of like being encircled or protected by something, and just like the pupil, it's almost like automatic, the way that it receives light. Like there's something like that happening for you. It's kind of like maybe you're responding to some sort of stimuli or something like that. Because I do feel like you are creating something, or at least like preparing for something, even if it's like you're not sure exactly what it is that you're preparing for. It's giving like the sap of the moon plant energy from this deck, which talks about being in the realms and receiving the answer to something that comes from your subconscious, is actually how it's coming through. So you may not be fully conscious of the answer or aware of the answer yet, but you're getting clues about it. It's like clues, or like signs, synchronicities, and things like that you sort of have to decipher or work through. And I feel like there is something about that process for you, Libra, that might be a little bit like not stressful, but like that it triggers this sort of like desire to nest, is just how it's coming through. Like maybe like withdrawing, or like if there's too much light, right? Like the pupil contracts, like it's that kind of energy. You have to have the courage to be disliked, Libra. The club. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. Yeah, I do feel like the energy is because it's kind of, it's like, I feel like there's someone, I'm going to keep it as a person just to make it easier to explain. There's someone around you that I feel like doesn't want you to do this for whatever reason. And it's like but it's like, and maybe for you, Libra, that might be strong influence. Like it's kind of like in doing this, you will make this person dislike you. And it's almost like that's part, that might be part of the character development that's coming through here. Doing something knowing that it might cause somebody just to dislike you, but it's kind of like you have to do it because it's for your benefit, right? It's like it's in order to move the plot along of your story. That's how it's coming through. And whatever that is, it does feel kind of like you're building something, like weaving together some sort of timeline is how it's feeling. It feels very beneficial to you, but there is somebody who does not want you to do this, right? Like it's gonna make this person very unhappy. To see you succeed is how it's coming through. So have the courage to be disliked. That's just what's coming through for you, Libra. Okay. Pay attention to your work. It could have something to do with your work. It could be a situation in your workplace, or it could be something where it's, and I feel like there is something coming through here for you, Libra, where you will be getting signs and synchronicities and actual, like, maybe even like actual physical, or like very clear signs. I just want to say very clear signs about what this scenario is for you. That in doing something, in moving your plot forward, that it's coming through almost like, maybe you're expanding in some way, Libra, or you're getting like, it's almost like, you know, like pieces on a game board. Like you're moving your thing forward, right? Like you're moving your little piece, whatever they're called, forward to the next step or the next level. And I feel like there's somebody who does not like that. It's just how it's going through. Somebody will try and make you do something against your will. But yeah, you have victory. Victory in some endeavor. You don't have to worry about the situation, Libra, because I feel like this reading is coming through as being like, don't lose the plot over this, whatever this is. Somebody not wanting you to do something, or like whatever it is. Could I get one more card for that? Indecisiveness. Yeah, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. That's the Two of Swords energy. I feel like there is something here, Libra, especially, okay, you have Elephant at the bottom of the deck and Haystack. You'll reap what you have sowed. And the Jug, lighthearted, carefree time. I feel like there has been a situation where you've been in a stalemate with the Wheel of like not allowing something in your life to move forward for fear of somebody or multiple people disliking you for this decision. And I know that sounds silly. It sounds, well, because I'm a Libra, so for me, like, I get it. The Aries part of me is like, why would you let other people, like, influence you like this? That's the thing, though. It's like this is, not to say that they don't matter or anything like that, but it's kind of like, you shouldn't have to sacrifice your own happiness and your own personal development and things because it would bother somebody else, if that makes sense. It's kind of like, if they don't like it, that's their problem, right? It's not your problem, Libra. As long as you're not hurting anyone, of course. I don't think that's the case, though. I feel like it's more something where it's like you're doing something that's good for you and somebody doesn't like it, and that's not your problem. I do think you're going to be victorious in this, though, because you are harvesting some gems. I feel like it's also something like, I don't know. Okay. I think you're gaining something though with the autumn card, especially. I think there may also be something of a bit of a the raccoon is at the bottom of the deck, a raccoon kind of energy, like especially if there's something here where it's like maybe there's a situation that makes you feel uncomfortable because it maybe triggers your shadow, right? Like that kind of energy of like not wanting to disrupt, not wanting to make a scene, not wanting to create conflict, like very Libra energy of like wanting to be neutral, wanting peace and diplomacy, wanting there to be like compromise and happiness and harmony within group dynamics, right? Especially. So there may be something like that, right? Like you want there to be peace, you want there to be harmony within a group, and you taking some sort of action here that has to do with your work or like the plot to your story, whatever that is, in order for you to advance, to expand, it would make people unhappy. That's why I feel like there's a bit of a conflict coming through, like a two of swords, because your desire for peace and harmony is directly conflicting with your desire for victory as well. That's how it's feeling. Or like, if it's not victory, it's like, movement or happiness or satisfaction or fulfillment or whatever it is. I feel like there is some sort of internal conflict for you, Libra, that has to do with that. Like there may be some sort of balance between sacrifice, personal sacrifice, and personal gain, like that kind of thing. So just being conscious of that, there is a balance. Yeah, the autumn card will appear as an indicator of efforts culminating, of hard work paying off, of fruit hanging low for the taking. Gratitude and generosity are the spirit of the season, so share the wealth of your fortune. Looking back, you realize many hands and hearts have helped you along the way. Holding tight to your bounty won't do any good. The alchemist shares their wisdom and wealth. They offer their boons back to the world as part of the ongoing cycle. Be like the autumnal tree, come to fruition and then release. Okay. I do feel like there is something of like there will be an opportunity to give back to whatever the situation is, especially if you are gaining a lot right now or like you're harvesting a lot. There will be an opportunity for you to give back in some way. So also be conscious of that as well, Libra. Be generous in sharing the wealth and whatever that is for you. Yeah, okay. Stingray, frog, eagle, and wolf. The stingray talks about radical change and being present with something that makes you uncomfortable or if there's discomfort in anything. It also is coming through a bit with vulnerability today, but also alignment, right? Like it looks like there's something there about alignment because this is also looking like that braid that you're weaving together. I feel like there's something in this process here for you, Libra, where you're like straightening. That's so funny. Because this great serpent card, the card was saying just when you thought you were straightening something out, right? Like straightening something out in your life or something was coming into alignment, the great serpent sort of like swallows you up again, right? And transforms something again. So there may be something like that. But I do feel like there is something that because I'm also looking at this victory card, because this victory card also to me looks like so random, but it looks to me like the neck of a guitar that's been bent in half. I don't know why that's relevant, but what's coming through here is that I feel like maybe, Libra, there is even something here where it's like you thought something was straightening out, or you thought that you were on a particular path, but then something happens to remind you that that wasn't the main purpose of the path anyway, or something like that. You thought something was straightening out, but it's actually, I don't want to say throwing you for a loop, but it kind of feels like that. Like you're being, something, I don't know, something unexpected is coming from this to remind you of something. That's how it's feeling. It feels so cryptic. I don't know. Hopefully this makes sense to somebody. There's like, you thought something was straightening out in terms of like it was getting smoother, or something was becoming more straightforward, or like you were on a particular path, but something throws you for a loop, and it's like you're put into some sort of new cycle, but it's victory though. There is something here of like a victory in something. I feel like there may be something here about like a past energy that is being corrected through this. Anyways, the accepting radical change though for you, Libra, feels like for sure there's a change. There's a change coming in for you if it hasn't come in yet, that perhaps throws you for a loop, is just how it's feeling. It may even feel like it's diverting you from the path that you have been on, but the message that's coming through with that is like, this is the plot that maybe you forgot. That's how it's feeling, like a storyline that you forgot about. It's like you weren't focused on, maybe it's something like a dream or something like a goal or something that you have been working on that you forgot about, or like for some reason had to put it down because it, I don't know, it wasn't working out, or there was something disrupting it. So it's like you focused on other things, Libra. And it's like this energy is bringing you back to that. It's like you forgot about this part. You forgot about this part. It's time to bring that back. That's how it's coming through. Okay. And then you have here the frog, which to me this one talks about, again, vulnerability and healing. There is something about vulnerability that's coming through here. I feel like there's also something here about like making your true feelings known. That's what this frog is talking about. I also feel like there is something here where it's like when this happens, when it does, it might be very emotional, whatever this is with the frog, is because I get this energy of like emotional healing that comes through with this card, vulnerability as well. But healing is one that's like the main energy for this. Okay, and then you have Eagle and Wolf. The Eagle card is mastery over air and fire. And the Wolf card in this deck does talk about a teacher, but I often see this one as being like having to leave old patterns behind. Let's phrase it like that. It does kind of come in a bit with the Phoenix energy because of the background there. It kind of gives Phoenix vibes, like learning lessons, but not in that way. It's more like changing patterns is what's coming through, like changing a pattern or a way of being into something that's more beneficial to you or that would allow you to grow. That's how it's coming through. The Eagle card is also another card about victory or achieving something or like getting the answer to something, or it's like solving the riddle. That's how it's coming through here with the Eagle. Like it does come in with like an Ace of Swords and Ace of Wands kind of energy because it's mastery over air and fire. Like truth, clarity, illumination, inspiration. I do feel like you're dealing with some sort of problem, Libra. It's kind of like, I feel like there was like, okay, this is just an example. The example that's coming through is like somebody who is sick. So they go to the hospital, right? They go to the hospital in order to get healed, or to like, you know, receive treatment for their illness or whatever. So that's the goal. That's the plot. Or the main goal is actually to like get out of the hospital and be healthy, right? That would be the goal or the main plot. But it's almost like the person went into the hospital and then discovered that they had all these other illnesses that needed to be healed. So it's almost like you just never get out of the hospital because you're always just there healing something. And it's like, it's time to get out of the hospital. That's how it's coming through, Libra. I know that sounds really intense. Like, it's like you forgot the main point of this, which is to get out of the hospital. Like metaphorically, of course, like that's how it's coming through. And I feel like if you have been in that situation, Libra, you are going to be coming out of that. That's how it's feeling. Whatever that hospital represents to you, like it's just some energy that feels kind of like, it doesn't necessarily have to be repetitive. I don't know why that's coming through like that, but it kind of feels like, maybe a situation where there were like problems after problems after problems, right? Like it's like you went in for a cold, let's say, but then you discovered you had all these other illnesses that needed to be healed before you could leave. Like that's how it's feeling. So it's kind of like maybe there is a period of time where you were healing a lot of different things. And now it's like, okay, time to get back onto the path that you were on before this all happened, is just how it's coming through. I don't know what it's kind of, because you have here the elephant at the bottom of the deck, like a long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. And I'm getting 4 years. 4 to 5 years might be part of the cycle for you. Doesn't have to be though, but the number 4 is coming through very strongly. It could even be 4 to 6 years. Yeah. Yeah, 4 or 5 or 6 years for you, Libra. Two swords. The 2 swords, but this 2 swords in this deck specifically talks about like both swords are actually pointed in the right direction. You just got to take the blindfold off. So I feel like there's something like that. You're headed in the right direction, but it's kind of like there may be something of a misunderstanding, or like you need clarity still about which direction you're going in. That's sort of how it's coming through. Ten of Swords, yeah. I think this is a fear. I think this is a fear of vulnerability, because with the frog, this card is coming out underneath the frog, and just look at like how similar these energies are, but like with the 10 of Swords, like the 10 swords going into the back, but it's actually rain. Like that's how it's feeling. Like it could be something here of like, again, with that vulnerability, it's feeling like this is perhaps an area in your life that is very sensitive. Like emotionally sensitive. It's tender. I feel like maybe there's something here of like your fear of the past repeating itself, right? Like it could also be something of like not wanting to leave the metaphorical hospital, maybe because you feel safe there. It's kind of something like that. Like, okay. Libra. Okay, but what else? The Two of Swords and the Ten of Swords. And there is an Eight of Swords energy there as well, right? Because you have 2 and 10. And Eight of Swords also has a blindfold on, right? Like not wanting to, like feeling stuck, like not feeling like you can move in a particular way. I do feel like there's clarity coming through here though with the Eagle. I feel like the universe is like sending you signs about something. Yeah. Okay, you have King of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, and the Hanged Man. Clarity. You may want to watch the Aquarius reading. That's coming through. Or perhaps there's an Aquarius energy that's significant to you in some way. Or that there's clarity coming through a King of Swords. Because the Eagle to me is also Aquarius energy. Or a King of Swords in general. Someone who is like, I feel like giving you the answer to something that sort of gets you out of a stuck place, because both of these are coming through like that. The Two of Pentacles is kind of like weighing two options, right? Especially with the Two of Swords, or like it's kind of like maybe stuck between a rock and a hard place. And the Hanged Man is this one to me just looks like being unable to untangle yourself from something is how it's coming through. I feel like this King of Swords is another person who may be helping you with this, with an Ace of Wands, like giving you inspiration to do something. Page of Wands, yeah. Like giving you the wand is how it's coming through. Like, and this, especially this with the wolf, the Page of Wands. Because the Page of Wands should be normally, like, normal, like, not normal, traditional interpretations of the Page of Wands is this energy of, like, going on an adventure, like a fresh new beginning, something inspirational, excitement, fun, playfulness. But both of these cards come through with a little bit of, like, looking back at what you're leaving behind. Like feeling melancholy at having to, like, you're going on a new adventure, but you're having to leave something behind. And it comes through with that sort of like melancholiness, like with both of these cards. I don't want to say that there's fear, but it's more so just like understanding that whatever is ahead, there's a healthy amount of caution that you have, Libra, about this, is how it's feeling. Four of Wands. Four of Wands. That's a really positive energy. Could I get one more? It's some sort of celebration. And a King of Wands. And you have Justice at the bottom of the deck and Magician. Is that King of Wands you? No. Okay, good. Okay, so this might be, there's a lot of Wands energy in your reading, and Swords, right? Like you have Two Swords, Ten of Swords, King of Swords, then you have Two Pentacles, and then Ace of Wands, Page of Wands, Four of Wands, King of Wands, and the Hanged Man. Maybe you were this King of Swords, and you're meeting a King of Wands. Though I feel like there is something here of like you're becoming the Page of Wands. I feel like there's something here like maybe you will be learning from someone. here at the King of Wands, I think you're coming together with someone that is going to be teaching you something. Like, you're the pupil. And the moon at the bottom of the deck. I do think you're going to get unstuck from this, though, because Lovers, as I stop shuffling. This is the part of the plot that you forgot about. It's just how it's coming through. Well, I don't want to say forgot, but it's kind of like you were focused, like it's like you had to go to the metaphorical hospital, right? Like you were doing something, you were on a path, and then something happened where you had to heal. That's how it's feeling. And now is like removing the cast or being let out of, like, discharged from the hospital. That's how it's coming through. And it's like, oh yeah, this is where we were. This is what we were doing before everything happened. That's how it's coming through for you, Libra. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.